Darren Shane, Zombie Underground. I'm back, the Joker, yours truly, one of the best. Ha ha! Man, I must confess. Nice to see ya. Let's get it on, ladies and gents. I'm B. Smith, and I'm a zombie. I study my face in the small mirror in my cell, looking for a monster, but only finding myself. I look much the same as I did before I was killed. Hair shaved tight, pale skin, a few freckles, a mole on the far right of my jaw, light blue eyes, and nose that's a bit too tight for my face, but if I stare long enough, I started to notice subtle differences, like those blue eyes I was always so pleased about. I was never a girly girl, but they were my best features, and yeah, I used to admit them every so often if I was feeling gooey. They're not as shiny as they were. They look like they're dried out. That's because they have. I tilt my head and pour several drops from my bottle into HIs, then shake my head gently from side to side to work that liquid about. Riley gave me the bottle. He also taught me how to shake my head the right way. You can't blink anymore. That was several days ago. Not long ago, I was right to myself from the room of my fire. I was bundled in here without anyone saying anything. No explanations, no sympathy, no warning. After the horror show with the zombies and the gang in leather, a group of soldiers simply shuffled me along a series of corridors, stuck me here and left me alone. For a few hours I paced around the small cell. That was nothing in it then. No mirror, no bed, no bucket, just a sink that didn't have running water. I was wild with questions. There is nightmarish speculations. I knew that I'd been killed and came back to life as a zombie. But why had my thoughts returned? Why couldn't I remember my past? Why was I able to reason? The zombie and palaskinery in my school were mindless murder wrecks. They killed before they couldn't control their unnatural hunger for brains. The zombie in the room were the same, single-minded killed machines on legs. It's as I thought that those teenagers and with the weapons were zombies too. Rage had definitely been bitten by one of the undead. The moss growing around the neck was proof of that. But they couldn't talk and think and act the same way. They couldn't when they were alive. Ha ha ha! Yours truly, the Joker! Ha ha! What the hell was going on, Riley? Was the first person to enter my cell today a thicky soldier with brown hair and permanent stubbles. He thought in a chair, closed the door behind him, put the chair in front of me, it sat. You can't think anymore, he said. Oh, I grunted, forgetting that I couldn't speak. You can't talk either, he noticed dryly. Well, short out of your mouth soon, but you should tend to your eyes first. Your vision will suffer already, but the more they dry out, the worse it'll get. He produced a plastic bottle of eye drop, passed it to me. As I stared at it suspiciously, he chuckled. It's not a trick if we wanted to harm you. We'd have fried you in the lab. Your eyelids didn't work. Go on, try them. See for yourself. I tried to close my eyes, but nothing happened. If I frowned my brow It forced them partly closer into a squint, but they wouldn't move by themselves. I reached for themselves to pull the lid down. Then I saw the bones sticking out of my fingers and stopped, afraid I might scratch my eyeballs. Good call, Riley said, revolutionized. All come close to poking out an eye. A few actually did before we could warn them. Most revived instinctively, know to keep their hand away from their eyes. But you guys, he snorted then, told me how we administer the drop. I stared at myself in the mirror again and wiped streaks from the drop away as they dripped away my cheeks. The closest I've ever going to go get to terror now that I'm dead. My eyes look better, but still not as moist and sharp as they once did. I can see clearly, but my field of vision is so narrow, and the world's a bit darker when I was alive, as if I'm staring through a thin gray vial. I opened my mouth and examined my teeth, running a tongue over them, but carefully I nickeled a load many times the first days. I first catch myself occasionally. But Riley had given me the drops. He told me why I couldn't talk. Your teeth had sprouted. When you return from the dead, they thicken and lengthen into fangs. That's so you can bite through flesh and bone more easily. He said it carefully, as if were no big thing. The bones in my fingers serve the same purpose, he went on. They let you dig through a person's skull. Better than daggers they are. Not it. Sure why it happens in your toes as well. Maybe the zombie gene can't distinguish between one of my digits and the other. I wanted to cry when he said that. I don't know why, but something about his tone tore a long, deep hole through my soul. I made a moan noise and hung my head, but no tears came. They couldn't. My tear ducts have dried up. I never weep again. Riley went on to explain why they were going to file my teeth down. They'd use an electric file to start me off, but that I couldn't trim them with the metal file myself day or two. Okay, hold on. Thank you, everybody. Lady and Jets, man. Man, no text. Haha. I do it for real. I'm the Joker. Haha. Yours truly, the one and only. Haha.